Hi, welcome to Social Abandon Strategies. As an INTJ, I'm going to give you a little bit of experience, INTJ experience, of awkward moments on public transport. Now, I know that most of us have already experienced some awkward moments with strangers, right? But I'm going to give you the INTJ experience and how we think when we are awkward. So let's get right into it. So the main question is this. How are introverts like us, who didn't use any special tricks to talk to others, can still be seen as confident? How do we manage to just stay in our room for most of the time and yet still make friends without being needy? And that is the big question that this channel will answer for you. Welcome to Social Abandon Strategies. Welcome back. All of us have had those awkward moments when we don't know what to do. We're just feeling uncomfortable and uneasy because someone is staring at us, or we just did something embarrassing but we can't get out of that situation and such. When we said something which we thought was funny and then no one laughed, so it was awkward. I have also had those times. I've also had those moments and it was really not good. So one of the most common places which awkward moments take place, it's on the train, on public transport. It might be on a bus. I think it mostly happens on the train, at least for me. So today what happened was I was coming back home from the university. I was pretty tired today because I was studying for the exam for the whole day. And then I was coming back home. I got into the train, I looked around, and then I sat down. It was crowded, but there were empty seats. Most of them were just standing and talking to each other. So I was alone and I just wanted to sit down. And when I sat down, I just felt really tired right at that time. I was also really sleepy because I didn't have enough sleep. So as soon as I sat down, I looked around. I don't know why, I just did it. I looked around and then I made eye contact with that person. And then it was really awkward, right? I didn't know what to do. Whether I should be just continue staring. He was staring right at me. I didn't know what to do at all. So I just ignored. I ignored and then I continued looking around. And then I made eye contact with another person. It was really awkward again, right? With two people in a row, I made eye contact and I just ignored. So I thought, I'm really tired. I'm really tired. I'm just gonna rest. I just laid back, closed my eyes for a little bit. And then after a while, I really don't know why, but I opened my eyes again and I looked around again. I think it's just my habit. And then I made eye contact with those two people again. It was really awkward because it happened twice in a row with two same people. Just imagine. And then what I did was I closed my eyes again and I was, millions of thoughts were running in my head, right? I didn't know what to do. I was feeling really awkward. I couldn't get out of there at all. So I just closed my eyes and I was just trying to relax, dude. And at that moment, what I was thinking was, what would extroverts do at this moment? Right? Most extroverts can handle those kind of situations really good. So I thought, what would they do at that moment? What would be the right thing to do? And that question was the question that I have been thinking until I got home. So I'm gonna tell you the result that I got. So basically, there are two choices that we can do. Now it's very obvious. We can either talk to them or we can just ignore, right? There are two choices. So why are we feeling awkward? It's because we don't know them and they're just staring and they're just trying to analyze me. That's what I was thinking, right? They were trying to analyze me, like what kind of a guy that is. So I was also trying to analyze them. I was also subconsciously trying to observe, right? So that's what happens. Whatever part you choose, either you want to talk to them, either you go to talk to them, or you just ignore. The first thing that you have to do is, you have already made eye contact, right? If you're going to turn away, then make sure that you don't look down. The reason for that is I have studied facial expressions and body language, right? So from what I have learned, if you look down after making eye contact with someone, it shows that subconsciously you are insecure or you're just not confident. That is not a good impression, even though you might not go and talk to that person, right? Because I want you guys to make it a habit that you don't look down when you make eye contact with someone. So instead of looking down, are you gonna keep staring at him? It would be awkward too. So instead of doing this, what I do is, when I ignore them, I don't look down. I just look sideways. I don't look up, I don't look down, I just look sideways. I think it's the best way to do when someone is staring at you. And the reason for me to look around is because I was observing. Right? I was subconsciously observing. It has been my habit for so long, so I just couldn't stop it. So what I really should have done is I should have observed people from the distance. Right? It was close. It was not so far. Like two strangers staring at each other. It was really awkward. So the advice is, if you're going to observe someone, make sure that you are doing that from a distance and in public areas, which is better because you don't want to seem like you're stalking that person and such. And those are the things that you can do when you make eye contact with a stranger. And mostly what INTJs tend to do, and at least what I do in public transport, is I usually observe and also I think about things. So when I'm not observing, I'm thinking about some things that what I'm gonna do today, what I have done, and I'm reflecting on myself and analyzing some things in my head. That's what I usually do. Nowadays, I noticed that when I'm on the train, I usually plan. I write down what I'm gonna do when I get home and also what I'm gonna do with my goal. I reflect on my previous plans and try to make sure that there aren't any errors and such. You guys might be thinking, I could just call a friend, right? I could just call a friend and go home with him together and such. The reason for me to write on a train alone is that is the time that I really get to sit down and observe people and think about things that I want, right? Every person has different characteristics and different personalities, right? It's really interesting. At least that's what I think. So on a train, I usually observe, think, plan, and I just think about people and such. I don't really enjoy someone else to be around me all the time and talking to me and accompanying me and such, right? I know it might be weird and such, but still, I enjoy being alone, right? That's the time that I can be alone and I really enjoy it. So guys, there you have it. What INTJs tend to do in awkward moments on the train. And that's all for today. Hey Introverted Warriors, thanks for watching. If you'd like to learn how to properly embrace your introverted qualities without feeling insecure, like the video, subscribe to this channel to be one of the Introverted Warriors, and watch another video of social abandonment strategies, and we'll talk again very soon. Remember, one right mindset is all it takes.